Hello again, and welcome back. If you were just finishing, if you were just watching my Legend of Zelda randomizer stream, welcome back. If not, welcome. Something really cool happened this week, if you ask me. Um, you may or may not have heard of the Game Grumps if you have been watching game streamers, YouTubers, Let's Players for any length of time. And this week, it was this past Thursday actually, just 2 days ago. Um, for some reason, I don't know how they found this game. I don't know what led to this. For some odd reason, um, the Game Grumps decided to play Super Multitasking for half an hour on YouTube, and they actually kind of seem to like it. Now, the version of the game they played, though, was the 2018 version, and since 2020, I have been promising an expansion to this game. Originally, it was called Super Multitasking versus Ultimate, but it has since been renamed Super Duper Multitasking. And yeah, I'm just gonna after I just kind of go over what the game is, in case you're not sure what it is. Um, I'm just gonna roll right into some of the stuff that has been added to this new version. So, super multitasking is an evil experiment that forces you to multitask several mini games at once. The screen is separated into portions for the left stick, the right stick, the face buttons, and the top buttons. And each minigame has you doing only one thing at a time. For example, in this face buttons game here, my only concern is to defeat the boss by using the face buttons. There is no movement involved. In this left stick seesaw game, all I've got to do is keep the ball on the seesaw. Really need to be concerned with anything else. And here we're just driving. Right stick. Seems simple so far, but once things start to happen, oh look, everybody's favorite Flappy. Oh hey, what's that up there? So now you can already kind of get an idea of what's happening. Now, I'll be honest, I haven't actually played this game in quite some time. It's probably been at least a year. I've been working on the new mini games, but I haven't actually been playing this or really playtesting all that much. So, I'm possibly out of practice, but I guess we're gonna find out soon enough. Then, eventually you find out the mini games have some kind of trick to them. Like, for example, the tennis mini game that just appeared, the balls are spaced apart with the same timing every time. The game uses kind of a load balancing algorithm to make sure that you get a variety of all the mini games. It attempts to give you all the different mini games at least once before repeating them. And I'm pretty sure we've run through all of them at this point. It's only 40 tons. It's really not such a big deal. Why did it make me hit it on the side there? I really find that the best way to attack the seesaw game is to simply move the seesaw back and forth. You'd be surprised at how many people fail the stop game. It's because they just kind of get wrapped up in other things and forget about it. But if you were thinking that was the idea in the first place, you'd be correct. Well, I guess I'm not completely out of practice after all, because... uh-oh. That was close. There's only so much messing up you can do in that targets game along the top until you're screwed because you run out of time. Oh! I got news for you. I was still flapping from the Flappy game. I didn't even think to stop, and then Quick Draw appeared, and I fired too early. That's really funny, actually. Third on the default leaderboard. That's alright. So, now that you know what the game is, I'll show you some of the other cool things about the game. Mission mode. This actually, I renamed the modes in this update. Quick play mode used to be called standard mode. That's what it currently is, and I think quick play kind of better represents what it is. It's just it is kind of the main mode of the game, but in my opinion, not the most interesting. Challenge mode has been renamed mission mode, and it's part of, like, I want people to think that these are missions. I don't want people to be scared away by the word challenge. They're scripted, they're the same every time, things like this. It's like a lot of them involve playing the same game in two different places. Maybe the timing is a little bit different, like it is here. This is one of my favorite examples of this sort of, you know, same game, two different places. The second runner. And you have to independently keep track of what's going on. I love it. And, you know, the missions, they last for a certain amount of time, generally, and if you last that long, the mission is cleared, and you try to complete them all. I'm a big fan of this one. Obviously, as you get deeper into the missions, they become far more difficult. Uh-oh. Whew, just in the nick of time there. Bad. Bad. And despite the fact that, you know, these do... It is definitely difficult to multitask 4 different games. Don't get me wrong. But what makes it slightly easier is the fact that the individual games themselves in a situation like that are not terribly difficult. Mash all the buttons, but dodge carefully. Oh, jeez. That's actually really hard. Wait, what happened there? I don't think the X correctly represented... Oh, I trapped myself there. Now you see the appeal of challenge mode. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what happened. Oh, that's definitely something wrong. So here's the thing. I've been working on the versus mode lately. And I think I probably broke something in the one-player mode because clearly this is not working properly. But this is part of the reason why we playtest. Probably there's an object left over from something else. If I play a different minigame... Yeah, if I play a different challenge, maybe we'll be able to try that again after. There's probably an object left over. Yeah. Something left over from the previous attempt is messing with things. I'm just gonna not fire at all and see if... Yeah, when it gets to the middle point on the screen, it's messing up. So I'm just going to take a note of that because that is something I'm going to need to look at later. Mission 23 broken. And it's probably not Mission 23 specifically that's broken, but it's probably the Space Boss game is broken. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to attempt some of the missions that I'm adding to the game that I have not yet play tested. You're going to start to see new mini games here that I'm adding to the game that have not ever been seen yet. You're also going to see, yeah, you know what, I might as well show you. So, number of slots, this is a thing now. So, the existing version of Super Multitasking locks you to 4 slots. Obviously on easier difficulties, you're not multitasking 4 games at once all the time, but there are 4 slots on the screen at all times. The new version allows you to knock it down to 3 like this. It eliminates the face button slot, and you're just going to be using the 2 sticks and the bumpers and triggers. And this makes it so that you don't have to use the right stick and the face buttons at the same time, which is, kind of awkward, as some people noticed during the Game Grumps video. The other thing that you'll be able to do is up the number of slots to 5. This splits the triggers and the bumpers into 2 separate game slots. And yeah, it's hard. I've tried it. It is hard. It's hard. But it also allows for a lot of flexibility for doing things that, for putting together missions that are completely unlike what you've seen before. So I'm going to go ahead and try. You're barely multitasking at all. So I started adding new missions to the game, but I didn't really playtest them yet. What the heck? Oh, whoops, forgot to jump. How long does that go on? One of the challenges of mission mode is you don't actually know how long each mission lasts. This is on purpose. I forgot again. One thing that I think is interesting, there were kind of 2 gaps in a row there. Not sure I'd seen that yet. Okay, the one hole that shows up, I have to jump it this time. That came out of nowhere. It does say to focus, granted, and I'm doing that. Alright, here comes that hole. I really like this new mission. But it's definitely more challenging than I expected it to be. I'm wondering if I need to make it just a little bit easier. No, I should probably just suffer, right? Suffer like G did. If you understand that reference, you win. Ah, and I saw it out the corner of my eye. Oh, man. Please look forward to this. Alright. Here it comes. Here comes a hole. There it is. Oh, man, it doesn't even last any longer than that. Oh, God, move out of the way. So I called that difficult. That's at the high end of difficult, I think. Double paddle mayhem. Oh. Nice. I deftly dodged the ball. Very, very good and helpful. Oh. How do you expect me to see what card that is? Ah! It couldn't possibly have gone on much longer than that. I say this like I didn't create it. But the fact of the matter is I added this mission to the game several months ago. Ah! I think that was the exact spot where I failed it the last time. Oh no. Those angles. You really have to try to keep the ball in the center-ish, because if you don't, it's just that much more difficult. Ugh. Like so. I couldn't keep it in the middle if my life depended on it. Come on, man. At least get past the 5-second mark. Jeez. No, no, no. At least I knew where the 4 was. Someone in the YouTube comments on that video called me a sadistic genius. I don't feel like a genius at the moment. Oh, come on! And you might notice that this is actually playing in the 3-slot mode. There's going to be a set of... Your mother. There's going to be a set of missions in the game that consists entirely of 3-slot missions. And what I'm, definitely looking to demonstrate with that is just because it's only 3 slots doesn't mean it can't be difficult. Oh no. The angles. The angles, man. Listen to the voice of the angles. Oh, come on. I would like to think this ends around the 20-second mark, which means probably 1 or 2 more hits after that. 8 on the left, 7 on the... Calm blue ocean, calm blue ocean. 4 on the left, 3 on the right. It's okay to think out loud, right? At least I got it right. 9 on the left, 10 on the right. I'm not actually sure whether it's more difficult when one of the balls is going up while the other is going down. Totally diverted my focus there. Yeah, you know what? I feel like it's definitely easier when the ball is moving in the same direction on both. Too bad it's completely random. Hey! Just a matter of just hit the button, don't worry about it. Oh, freaking. So now you see another one of the new games. Shoot. It's very simple. You shoot when it says shoot. You don't shoot when it says don't. Oh, hold on a minute. Okay, so the triggers are on top. The bumpers are... Yes. No, that's... Don't. I hit the wrong thing. I zigged when I should have zagged. Oh, you get all the time in the world for... And I still couldn't do it right. Okay, that one wasn't actually that difficult. You just had to get past the freak out moment. Hazardous journey. Seems like a lot of effort just for the beach. Medium. Alright, so first we dodge the weights. Then we jump over holes. Then we dodge a spike ball. And now we hula. Huh. But now, you see another new feature of the Super Duper expansion. Previously, mission mode would have, at most, one game in each slot for the entirety of the mission. But here you saw that we cleared a mini game in one slot, and then another mini game appeared in the same slot before the mission was over. Oh. Okay, so these two I added just today. And they're both bad, and I'm going to see just how bad they are and wonder if I should adjust the difficulty. This one, Endless Question Mark Runner. Another just 3 slots, so it should be easy, right? Of course it's difficult. Nope. Gotta focus just a little bit more on our timing there. Ugh. I got arrowed in the head. In my experience, you can kind of more or less mindlessly run back and forth to some extent in falling weights. Remember, you only need to win one. Oh, jeez. Now the worst part of this, you realize what the worst part of this is, right? You gotta go back to the beginning. That part that you completed now must be completed again. I even hit the target after the time expired. Okay. Let's give it one more try. Oh, and you haven't even seen how it ends. Well, that time it ended that way. Didn't even get to the good part. Nope. Okay. No! Oh! Again. Good job jumping in the hole. Too bad that's not what you're supposed to do. And we did it again. Because that's, you know, jump in a hole. That's just every man's responsibility, right? Where? Hey. Oh. The froggy's so cute, isn't he? I like the little froggy I drew. He's really cute. This is really tough. That exit seemed just a mile away. I was near the end of the segment, too. Nope, nope, nope. Arrow to the face. And that's... I really was hoping the segment would have ended by then. There we go. I had a feeling I was taking too long. Is the time limit actually longer on the maze game? I think it might be. Oh, arrow. Arrow to the neck. That's just unimaginably painful. No, no, don't go that way. Arrow to the... what is that, midsection? Aw, that was like... that grazed like the freaking hair. I swear that was that was my head. That was my brain. It is now splattered all over the bricks that have been changed to a little less like the Mario bricks. And now I fell in a hole. There's actually a set of Steam trading cards that I created back when Super Multitasking was new. There are 6 of them. They depict all the different ways that Mr. Multitasking, as I call him, can die. And, well, I can't release them until more people play and buy this game. I was really hoping that the Game Grumps video would be enough of a bump to finally let those cards see the light of day, but alone it was not enough. So, please, if you want a set of 6 Steam trading cards, please continue enjoying Super Multitasking. Thank you. Down, left, down. I'm not too worried about avoiding the shots on the left, but oh no. I missed the fly. This is really hard. I'm gonna have to think about this one. Many rhythms. Feel the rhythm. All of them. Oh, jeez. See, this is what the 5-slot mode makes possible. I love this already. Oh, were you not expecting DDR? This is really tough. I love it. I love it now. Give me 5 minutes. Let's see if I still love it. So, I don't know if you noticed. There was previously a mission that... Alright, I can't talk. There was previously a mission in this game, I think it's called Doubles Play, where you had to do two of the tennis game at once. But the thing was, the difficulty of the games, the difficulty of the mini games were the same, so the rhythm was the same. It was like boop, bunk, boop, bunk, boop, bunk. Well, another new feature of Super Duper Multitasking's mission mode is you can assign different difficulties to different slots now. When I say you, I mean me mostly, but what that means is that you may notice the rhythm on the face buttons tennis game is completely different from the rhythm on the bumper and trigger tennis games. Yeah, it's much more difficult this way. Oh man, I mess up as soon as I start to hit the arrows. uh, by the way, for the dancing minigame, I only have one song in at the moment, but that will soon change. I'm hoping to get at least 3 songs with different BPMs, and what's happening is every time I go for the stick, for the left stick, I'm hitting the wrong button for the top slots. Oops, I missed it. I feel like I'm fending off an army of balls. And I did it again. I hit the wrong button. Oh, man. Hello, Fastmaster. I am glad that you are laughing at my misery. It brings me joy that I have brought you joy. I'm really having trouble programming my brain. The very top is the trigger. The very top is the trigger. The middle slot there is the bumper. Missed the second step there. It would be great if there was only one. I did it again. And the chart was the same too. It doesn't have to be, but it is. This time. Who knows if it'll be different next time. I'm just failing that second step over and over again. Oh! I actually had a 4 combo there. World first for combo. Well, seeing as how I did just start creating the mission today, I guess that's true. Oh, freaking. I don't think we saw a down arrow there yet. The great thing about the mission mode is, even though the framework is the same every time, you have to wire your brain completely differently in order to do some of these missions, and it's kind of mind-blowing, actually, in multiple ways. I feel like I'm getting the hang of it, even if it doesn't actually look like I am. I'm starting to get it. I swear. I'm like starting to get more calm and zen and focused, and I missed. I love this mission, but I have a strict rule. If I can't pass it myself, it doesn't go in the game. So I'll be working with the difficulty and probably tweaking it a little bit because I do want to make sure that it's completable. These two missions in particular, the end and final boss, I'm very proud of those as ending missions for this was the last mission in the original release of Multitasking on Xbox Live Indie Games in 2015, and this is the final mission in Super Multitasking as it exists on Steam today, and I'm very proud of both of these. Both of them took me several hundreds of tries to complete, but I was determined. I did not make them easier. I was absolutely determined to complete them, and I haven't played them in a long time. But you can get an idea of just how difficult this is. Oops. Yeah, you can get an idea. I even have it down to, like, you have to kill 7 aliens on the top slot. Once you kill the 7th alien, you don't have to look at that anymore. The thing that makes that really hard, though, is the seemingly innocuous-looking paddle game on the left stick there, because the problem with that is it gets faster, and that just makes it all the more difficult at the very end. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do some play testing of the quick play mode, using some of the new mini games and slot arrangements. I'm going to go down to 3 slots for now, and I'm going to test what I'm currently calling the ultimate game set. I was originally going to call it, the expansion versus ultimate for the versus mode. Versus mode, 2 players. It's really cool. I hope to show that off to you soon. But for now, okay, yes, ultimate. I was thinking of calling it Duper, but it's less confusing to call it ultimate. I haven't actually really play tested this. The fact of the matter is, it's important to do that because I don't want any of the mini games to necessarily be harder than others. If, I'm failing on the same thing every time, or if something just absolutely feels much more difficult than everything else, then I absolutely have to tune the difficulty to change that. That's a new variant of the space game that you see there. A new addition to the ultimate game set. If you choose Super instead, One thing about the shoot game is it intentionally has a very short time limit. Yes, that is exactly what you think it is. What makes the maze game difficult is you actually have to think about all 4 directions. Most of the mini-games only have you thinking on one axis. For example, here I only have to worry about my horizontal position. A lot of the games that are new for the Ultimate game set, they actually demand focus when they get to be, you know, above a certain difficulty. Like Snake, for example, also, you know, has you thinking in all 4 directions. Whoops. Frog also has you thinking in all 4 directions. Oh, whoops, I'm not done with that. And then there's that game where you have to memorize 2 cards. And you don't know what question they're going to ask you either. Fire! 8 on the left, 5 on the right. I decided not to ask questions about suits because you know, the symbols are kind of hard to see, and also because I don't want to unnecessarily penalize somebody who's colorblind. I'm screwed. Oh, I was saved there by the game ending before I could It's as I expected. Frog is too hard. I can tell already. I like the long time limit on that. I wasn't really paying attention to the shots over there. I got very lucky. Oh, that was close. Thank goodness I could read ahead. Also, thank goodness for the large timing windows. Ah, too bad. Hey, that wasn't so bad. 432. Okay. Oh, that's also new for Super Duper. It remembers your initials from last time. I know it's not like that big a deal, but it'll save you, you know, 11 seconds. It'll eventually add up to a pee break, that kind of thing. Frog is too hard, but it's not too hard for the reason that I thought it would be initially. Frog. Flies are too small. That's the real problem. Because I can barely make them out while I'm looking at other games, and yeah, they need to be larger so that they're more visible, and it will make the whole game easier to play. And they should probably be slower. So, definitely we'll take that into account. I'm going to go ahead and up the difficulty to hard so things will speed up a little faster this time. Once again, I only have one song in right now, but that will change. games are getting kind of tough because I chose the hard difficulty. There's no way to stop the right reel before you stop the middle reel. You have to do them in order. Oops. Fire! Seven on the left, 5 on the right. The amount of time that you have to wait before it asks the question is random. Oh God. Some of the games you can just kind of ignore and hope that they don't kill you. Flappy is not one of those. Fire! Oh! I saw the alien coming in the left stick slot, and yeah, that didn't go so well. 211. So, I think it makes more sense if you think about what I was going for with the 3 game sets. Original was the original set of games. Super was meant to add variety, but not necessarily challenge. Challenge was the name of the game when adding the ultimate mini games. I actually wanted to add mini games that were more difficult to play. So I think I achieved that. That was the idea. That said, I still want their difficulty to be roughly equivalent to the others as far as just straight up completing them. So, yeah. What else? Alright, so now I want to up the number of slots to 5, and I want to try this on the normal difficulty and see what happens. And I'm aware that I have a bug right now in the Space Boss game, so it's entirely possible that I will fail because of that. But we'll get over it. You can see that the chicken here is flattened slightly to account for the smaller play area. So we made the hitbox smaller. Also, the rate of descent is less. Fire! I tried really hard to make it so that... Whoops, wrong button. I tried really hard to make it so that the minigames are not actually more difficult just because the play area is smaller. Analog triggers can make the seesaw game easier, so the seesaw game will not appear in the bumper slot. It's nearing 1 a.m. on the East Coast. I straight up missed, didn't I? There's no art for that yet, obviously, but I I thought to actually put in placeholders so that the game doesn't crash. Thank you, me. The actual multitasking is just as difficult. Meaning, just because there's 5 slots and not 4, it doesn't mean you play more mini games than you would have in the 4 slot mode. You still play 1 initially, then 2, then 3, and the rate of increase of the difficulty is not faster. There's a rhythm to this also, to kind of maintain the same height. I should probably think about lowering the HP on the space boss in 5 slot mode, because you have half as many buttons. That was lasting longer than I wanted. Looks like that was an easy one. Should I have completed it that quickly? I don't know. Oh, now is when we run into trouble. I knew that was bad news. I feel like I'm having trouble with... Oh, and I noticed something else too. Don't flash timer red when blank completed. I don't actually remember what minigame it was, but even after completing it, the timer was flashing red when they were under 3 seconds. I'll have to watch the video on demand to figure out which one that is. And the other thing, lengthen input on space D diagonal. Space D is what I'm calling the thumbstick game, the space, aim at the aliens game, because there were already 3 variants, space A, B, and C. And what I have there is something where, let's say there's an alien coming at you diagonally, and let's say you're attempting to push diagonally on the stick, but you hit, let's say up left is where you're trying to point it, and you hit up or you hit left on your way to hitting up left. So the game starts to fire the shot up or left, whichever one you hit. But if it sees the other input or diagonal input within X number of frames, it actually removes the initial shot and then fires a diagonal one instead. So, but I'm not sure if it's enough frames where, it'll allow you to do that. So I should probably lengthen that window. It's probably like 4 or 5 frames, and it's not enough. Let's give it one more go. Oh, that's another note I want to write. Lower space boss A HP in 5 slot. A is the version that runs on the top, B is the version that runs in the face button slot. because you have half as many buttons. In the 4-slot mode, you have 4 buttons to mash. Here you only have 2. So it's only fair to at least somewhat lower the HP of the boss. I wonder if I already thought of that. Piece of cake. Nothing to it. Yeah, I was gonna say I should get that second simultaneous game any moment now. So one of the things I'm gonna try to implement, I'm so close to it already. I want to implement a brick breaker kind of game. You know, make that out of the paddle game. And I want to make that one of the bonus modes. You know, try to play this brick breaker game while you're multitasking everything else around you. Holy moly, I am starting to fade here. I'm just yawning every other sentence, aren't I? Fire! That's this one. I would say it's past my bedtime, but my bedtime is so messed up I don't even know what it is at the moment. I should not be going to bed at 2 a.m. like I've been doing. You know, it's incredibly difficult finding a good work-life hobby balance these days, for me at least. I don't know how some people do it. Maybe they just don't need as much sleep as I do. But I've just been exhausted at the end of every week, and at the end of most evenings, whoops, I am just too tired to work on this. It's a very brain-intensive thing, you know? Oh, you like those math problems? I really like the math problems. And by the way, if you're wondering why, if you're wondering what there is to stop you from just going in circles on the snake game, it's simple. If you take too long to complete the snake game, the speed of the snake will increase. And then you will be in trouble. Wait, 10 plus 24? Fire! Darn. I missed. I missed. That's a very good tip for the dance mini game. Actually, I'm kind of proud of that one. Yeah, it's just like DDR, really. You're not penalized for extra inputs. You are only penalized for not putting in the correct thing. So, yeah, if you know the timing is right, but you forgot what arrow it is, just fling the stick in any direction, and maybe you will survive. But if you're not paying any attention and you miss it completely, well, there's just no helping that. So, yeah, if you watched today, you got to see a bunch of the new mini games. You got to see some issues with the game that I need to fix. You got to see some of the new missions that I've got in development, and I've got over a dozen more ideas on paper that I simply need to put into the game. So the mission mode this time is going to be broken up into separate courses. If you want to do a speed run, you don't have to do all the missions in one go anymore. There's going to be a beginner course, which is going to consist probably of about 10-15 missions that are relatively easy. There's going to be a 3-slot, a 4-slot, and a 5-slot course that are going to range from easy to pretty challenging. And then there's going to be a hell course with like the 10 hardest missions in the game. And last but not least, you're going to be able to play the original Super Multitasking 42 mission set if you would like. And finally, there's just going to be one big long blob of every mission in the game. If you hate yourself and would like to try to speed run them all in one go. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this early look. There's still quite a lot that I need to do on this game. I'm hoping that I'm going to deliver this expansion sometime later this year. But there is beyond just making the new missions. You can see the new mini games are finished, but they do need some tuning. A few of them. And beyond that, though, I am planning to add a new single player mode. One of the criticisms that I've received the most about the quick play mode is that it's kind of a bummer to have to start from the beginning each and every time, to have to wait for things to speed up. And while I'm hesitant to allow somebody to just kind of skip the first minute or two, because you know the person in number one on the leaderboards, they didn't skip the first minute or two, so why should we let anybody do that? Counter argument. So what I'm going to do is add a mode called Gauntlet. That is going to be a mode where you play kind of 30-second segments of this game, and you don't have to wait for it to speed up, because the 30-second segments get right into it. You are multitasking from the very first second of the game. And the segments will, some will be semi-random, just as the quick play arrangements are, but others will kind of be they'll kind of throw stuff at you that's sort of reminiscent of the mission mode, where you'll be playing the same minigame in two different places simultaneously, or similar to the bonus mode, where you'll have one game running the whole time, or even one game that kind of bounces back and forth between slots. And one big thing about the Gauntlet mode, if you fail, you are not eliminated from the game. You get to keep going, and you're evaluated at the end of it based on what you had to play and how many times you failed. So I think a lot of folks who don't enjoy quick play, or find the missions too difficult, may enjoy that. And speaking of folks who find the missions too difficult, I'm going to add some accessibility features there. You will be able to turn the difficulty down a notch. Obviously, a lot of missions were designed to be very challenging, and a lot of folks like that, but then you have a lot of folks that get frustrated. They just want to be able to complete the missions. They don't need them to be that hard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a few extra settings to reduce the difficulty of the missions to 90%, 75%, and 50%. And this way, basically anybody can try them, because it puts the focus back on the multitasking rather than the difficulty of the mini games themselves. So for anybody who had trouble with the missions but would like to enjoy them, you can turn the difficulty down a notch. And there's also, and this comes directly from someone left a Steam review. It's actually one of the only critical reviews I have up there, and they felt that the game needs to explain how to play the mini games, and basically the tutorial needs to be more than just, when games appear in this position, play them with this. That's basically all the tutorial I've got right now. And you know what? I agree. Thank you for that suggestion if you are watching. I'm going to add an entire how to play mode, which is not only going to expand on that tutorial, but it's also going to have kind of training. It's going to be like the practice mode is now, except it's going to introduce all of the different mini games in whatever game set you select, and it's going to let you practice them, or you can even practice a single mini game. and you can continue practicing it. If you fail, it keeps going. You just get to try and continue trying until you're happy with it, and you can quit and set up something else. So, better training features, better practice features. Um, Basically, what I want Super Duper Multitasking to be is a game that gives you all kinds of unique challenges that you can't find in any other game, and then also gives you all the tools that you could possibly want or need to conquer those challenges, along with your ingenuity and your skills. So, I hope you enjoyed the sneak peek of Super Duper Multitasking, and I hope you will look forward to it. It is January 15th of 2023 as I record this, and time flows like a river. Let's be frank here. And I've got a 4-year-old, and I've got a full-time job, and I was just lamenting about how I was exhausted at the end of every day. I really want to release in June. I don't know if I'm going to make it. There's still a lot to be done, but I'm going to do my best. And the fact that the Game Grumps played Super Multitasking this week, and that more folks know about the game now, that encourages me to try to kind of step it up and work on this faster. I know that any bump in popularity I'm gonna get probably will only last days, but the fact of the matter is more people know about this game than did before, so I'm hoping that they will continue to enjoy it. And yeah, I guess that's it for me. If you're watching live and you pay any attention to my streams whatsoever, I will let you know that I'm not going to be streaming DDR tomorrow, Sunday, because I am going to be actually going to the arcade tomorrow night instead. So maybe next week on that. And I will once again stream The Legend of Zelda next Saturday night, and I will continue to work on Super Duper Multitasking throughout the week, and probably every so often I'll do another one of these playtest videos, because number one, it's a good way to schedule actual testing time. I got a lot out of this. I have a nice sticky full of notes, and also I enjoy eating my own dog food every so often. I enjoy playing my own games, because you know what, that's the thing. If you're an indie developer, there's so many games out there, there's so much competition. The chance that you're going to be discovered at all is so low that you really need to create the game for yourself first, everybody else second. And you know what? At the end of the day, if you made a game that you love, that you really enjoy playing, then in that regard, it's a success, right? Because you got to play the game you wanted because of your own two hands. And there's something to be said for that. So, anyway, if you got this far, thank you very much for watching. Be good to each other, and maybe I'll see you again next week. Take care. Be well. Stay healthy, please.